Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Celeste, and I'm here to give a little information of what I see happening in front of our eyes. And I'm not making this video for anybody else to sign on and, agree with me because this is a message from the Lord. So you would need to go to the Lord and ask Him for confirmation of this message. That's all I can ask you to do. I'm just delivering the message, and um, if the message is for you, then it will resonate with you, and you will understand it. If it's not for you, then it's not for you at this time. Um, but please go in prayer and ask the Lord if this message is for you. So basically, there's two things that I want to point out that's been happening in front of our eyes, and I'm not sure that anybody else is picking it up, but I think this is something that should be it shouldn't be a secret. It shouldn't be a secret. So here recently, we just had a situation with the Dallas Zoo, where a young man who has now been arrested for stealing two monkeys from the Dallas Zoo. And prior to that, there was a few other incidents at the zoo. Um, one with a clouded leopard, one with a vulture. I think there was some damage done, and then the two monkeys. So, what the Lord showed me about this incident, or this entire situation, um, the first incident at the zoo was, I don't know, maybe I don't know if it was the first, but one of the first was the attempt to take the clouded monkey. I'm sorry, the clouded leopard. Okay. Actually, let me get my notes because I need to make sure that I am saying this right. So the clouded monkey. Now, let's go to what the Bible says. The Bible says that Jesus would come back in a cloud. I'm sorry, why I keep saying the clouded monkey? The clouded leopard. Jesus would come back in the cloud. And so in the cloud, which, if you know now, we are in the the era of the cloud, because we have the 5G cloud, right? And so that cloud holds all of our data that we send out, emails, pictures, videos, whatever, right? So I believe that also includes what is being broadcast on TV. So I'm just going to include that because this is where we got the news report. So the clouded leopard. So what we know about a leopard never changes its spots, right? So in a cloud, we are going to see Jesus. The leopard does not change its spots. In the cloud, you see that the leopard doesn't change his spots, which is the same as who? God does not change. God does not change. So that's well known that God does not change. And that incident happened on January 13th. And the name of the leopard is Nova. And Nova means a star that brightens and then returns back to its normal state. So that name would be fitting for the clouded leopard because the leopard does not change its spots. God does not change. And when God returns, he is to return in the cloud. The second incident was the vulture. The vulture was killed. Now let's think, what does the vulture do? The vulture eats the carcasses of the dead. So the vulture at the Dallas Zoo was found dead. So God is saying that those that are vultures in society will be eliminated. That incident happened on January 21st. That's 8 days between the leopard and the vulture. The name of the vulture was Pin, P-I-N, like pin number, keypad. So the vulture name was Pin, like pin code, pin pad, like you would go to an ATM and punch your pin code in. So the vulture is a representation of greed, money, idolatry. The next incident was the two monkeys that were taken. Their names were Bella and Finn. Bella means beautiful, and Finn is like the fin of a fish or a shark, and that happened on January 30th. That was 9 days after the vulture. So there's a progression. 8 days between the leopard and the vulture, and then 9 days between the vulture and the monkeys. There was 2 monkeys taken, and they have been recovered, and they were recovered in an abandoned house owned by a church. The monkeys were in the closet. The house owned by a church house. The 2 monkeys in the church house, in the closet. And then they were exposed and found. So I believe that this is another message stating God is coming in a cloud. He is not changed. He still considers greed a sin. And the love of money is the root to all evil. but he's going to expose what's hidden in the closet in the church house. That's the message that I've received from the news reports of the young man that's been arrested for animal cruelty. Now, when the news reporters spoke, or when the young man was taken to jail, he said that he would do it again because he loves the animals. And I believe that, because he's doing the work of the Lord. The Lord is using him as a vessel to deliver his message. This young man may not even know that that's what he's doing, but that's what God is telling me that he's doing. He's telling me that this young man was chosen to do this because he is a pure heart. He is a chosen child. He is a child of God. And God needed this message to be delivered. And he used this young man to do that. And he's also given me this information so that I can assist this young man. So I'm going to go one more further with you on this, because when I said 3 years ago that the Lord started ministering to me, 3 years ago, I had a dream about someone releasing animals from the zoo. In 2020, I had a dream of someone releasing the animals from the zoo. And my interpretation of that dream was that God was freeing his children, that God was freeing the Israelites. That is the message that I received 3 years ago. So to see this news report now in 2020, I know that this is what God was telling me 3 years ago. And he's telling me now that he is coming to expose what's hidden in the church house. Okay, so that's the first message that he wanted me to give. So I'm going to give this second one. When I spoke of the dream that I had about Jacob and Esau, the end of that dream went into the pale horse. In that dream, there was a pale horse. And in the Bible, in Revelation, the pale horse the rider is death. Then there's Hades, and hell follows. So I know that everyone was watching the Grammys, and everyone saw Queen B, Beyonce. She's had that title for a long time, and the night of the Grammys, She was officially given that award. She was officially given that title. But pay attention. As she was on that stage was a pale horse. And who was riding? I don't know what that means. I just know what I saw. I know what I heard. I know what I read. Following the Grammys, just last night, we had LeBron James, who also was given the title of king very early. And last night he broke a record, just as Beyonce did, and was, I guess, officially given the title of king. Now, I know that in the Bible, the people wanted a king. They wanted representation. But they had a hard time with the king in heaven because they couldn't see him. They had a hard time with that. So they wanted somebody they could see. So God gave them that. Idolatry. These are your idols. I didn't even know the Grammys was on. And I saw the game on last night, but I didn't watch it. I miss a lot of things that are going on out in the world because I don't pay attention until it's brought to me. So I believe that what I just said happened in the Bible just happened again. See, God is our king. We have a queen too, because it's God the Father and God the Mother. And the two become one. But we can't see them because they're in heaven, because they're spirit. Can't see them. But you can hear them. And even though you can't see them physically with your eyes, you should still be able to see them, because God is everywhere, talking to us all the time. But we miss it. We miss it because we don't pay attention, because we're so busy. See, the devil is busy. The devil is busy. When God created the world, he wasn't running around with his head cut off. Cool, calm, collected. Everything in its time, everything in its place. But when we so busy doing everything else that we're not paying attention, then we're missing him. We're missing her. We're missing that greatness. We're missing that love. the messages are not being received, and that grieves the Lord. That grieves the Lord because the messages are so important. And it's understood that it's hard to do when somebody's not talking directly to you. But it's not hard to do when your heart is open and you're ready to receive that love. It's not hard to do.